Ladies and gentlemen, welcome to this Chargers podcast. I am your host, Fernando Ramirez, joined as always by number one in your heart, but number 41 on the field, Lorenzo Neal. Lorenzo, how are we doing today?
I'm doing absolutely great, Fernando. I'm excited. Miss you, brother. I'm excited. I already took my Balance 7 this morning. I'm fired up, so you're going to get a lot of energy from me, baby. Woo! How about them Chargers?
I don't think you ever lack energy. I think if anything, you have over energy. You have an abundance. There you go, Mom. There's a big word, an abundance of energy. So it's yeah, no, but you know what? Your sentiment is felt all over Los Angeles, all over San Diego. And I'm starting to think it's starting to get felt all over the country. The Chargers just incredible. 41 points, were scored in the fourth quarter alone of their 47-42 victory over the Cleveland Browns. A lot to unpack, Lorenzo, but give me your impressions of the game.
I really believe that if you look at the Dallas Cowboys and you think about the Chargers, I think you have one of these two teams, in my opinion, are top three in the AFC, and the Dallas Cowboys be the top three teams. There's not three teams that I would take over the Dallas Cowboys in the NFC, and there's not three teams I would take over the Chargers in the AFC right now today. In spite of both these teams not having necessarily a great defense, in spite of both these teams not having maybe a great run defense, in spite of deficiency at right tackle, in spite of some things that are going on, because you know what? It's football. You're never going to have the perfect team. You're never going to have everything that's lined up in line that you can say, oh, we can beat anybody. It's not about that. It's about being able to make plays and having a guy that you have at the quarterback position that's not a thermometer, but I always say a thermostat. That thermostat has to be able to regulate temperature. A thermometer, all it can do is measure temperature. It can never regulate. The quarterback on the Chargers, he is a thermostat. When you have a guy like that and your run defense isn't as good, or your pass defense isn't as good, you don't have as greatest offensive line as you would like. But when you have a guy that is that efficient and that athletic and that mobile and that smart and that intuitive, you have a chance in the National Football League to compete with anybody on any given Sunday. And that's where this Chargers, I'm not saying they're the best, but I'm saying they're good enough to compete with any team on any given Sunday.
Yeah, no, you're completely right, Lorenzo. And I mean, the thing is and this is the way I present it to people, and this is how I write it in my articles. What the Chargers defense is doing, they lack some pieces and they know it. But what they're doing is playing bend but don't break defense. They're going to allow you to score points, get all these yards. Yes, on Sunday it was an anomaly. They allowed Cleveland to score a lot of points. But if you notice the film, it was a lot of missed tackles. There was a lot of sloppiness by the defense. And Brandon Staley was the first one to admit it after the game. But this defense, when the going gets tough at the end of games, they come up with stops. They stopped Baker. They were down 42-41 because of the Tristan Vizcaino missed extra point. They were down, and what did the defense do? The defense clamped up. They were able to get their offense the ball back. The offense comes down the field. They end up scoring on that accidental Austin Ekeler when the Cleveland Browns defense yanks him into the end zone. And then on that next drive, the defense is able to stop Baker Mayfield from scoring a game-winning touchdown. That is what this defense is doing. They did it against the Kansas City Chiefs a couple of weeks ago when Alohi Gilman comes up with that clutch interception. They did it to the Raiders when they were able to Daniel Carlson missed that field goal. The Chargers defense was able to stop them from coming all the way back. And then they did it again on Sunday. That is what this defense is doing. During the game, they're going to allow you to do a lot of different things. They're going to give up run yards. They're going to give up pass. Yes, but when the going gets tough, Derwin James, Joey Bosa, these guys and that defense clamp down and they stop the opposing offense. And that's why, Lorenzo, I think a lot of people are hyped about this Chargers team. Brandon Staley is just right now, him and his coaching staff are calling masterful games. They're really calling incredible games, and I'm very impressed so far with the way they've handled themselves 5 weeks in, because Lorenzo, you know the Chargers, you know the history. They don't make things easy. So for them to be on the winning side of all these games, except for the obviously the hiccup against Dallas, but other than that, for them to be on the winning side of all these games in one of the hardest opening schedules, I thought this was one of the hardest opening schedules before their bye week. You had, I think, 4 or 5 playoff opponents, and the Chargers are right now 4-1. It is very impressive what Brandon Staley and company are doing.
And very well they could be undefeated, and that's what I mean. The last couple of weeks, you're like, oh, Lorenzo, the tackle, and I was like, hey, hang on. I told you, I said, wait, watch what you see with Kansas City. I told you, remember, we can go back to the tape. You remember the last podcast? I said Kansas City Chiefs will not make the playoffs. I told you they weren't as good as what everyone thinks they are. Remember we had that conversation?
No.
Because I'm looking at this game.
Yeah.
Come on, tell me, Daddy.
No, you're right. No, you're right.
You know I've been taking it 7. I've been on that jump fired up, baby. Fired up.
You're right. You're 100% right. You are completely right. Yes, the Chargers. Yeah, you said the Kansas City Chiefs are not what they were. They just got blown out literally on their own home turf by the Buffalo Bills. They've been beaten by Baltimore. They've been beaten by the Chargers. So the 3 top AFC teams have all beaten Kansas City. And Patrick Mahomes, you said it, Lorenzo, Patrick Mahomes is not going to be able to get away with the crap that he used to do, the no-look passes, all that stuff. He's not able to get away with that stuff anymore. And Kansas City, I mean, I think Travis Kelce's got hurt. So did Tyreek Hill. So things are starting to spiral a little bit in Kansas City, Lorenzo.
Yeah, it's too much for one guy to do. That's because he doesn't have the people around him. And that's what I was saying, the difference when I'm watching this Charger team. Yes, there's some holes in the Chargers team, but collectively as a team, as a unit, they are a good team. And that's the thing. I look at the Dallas Cowboys. Dallas doesn't have an awesome defense, but what they have is Prescott in that run game. You look at Eckler. Eckler's turned out to be one of the better backs and finest backs in this league. So now you have a running game, and now you just don't have to depend on the pass. And that's what you watch. You watch the Chargers now. That run game is balanced. That screen game, the quick pass, get Eckler involved. I like what they're doing in the passing game. I like what they're doing in the run game. And they're doing things that are keeping this team relevant. They're doing things that are keeping them, in football games. So I love what they're doing. And I'm watching this team, and I'm watching this Charger team continue to fight day in and day out, how they're fighting, how competitive they are. They're competitive because their coach believes, but that defense is optimistic. If you watch the defense at opportune times, when it's got to bow its neck and it's got to make a play, that's when they make a play. Because you know why? They believe in their signal caller. They believe in that quarterback. They know when this guy, if they said, the defense is saying, look, we're not playing well. We haven't played well today. Okay, we missed an extra point. Defense, all we have to do is find a way to get a stop. Because if we get a stop with our quarterback and our offense, the way that we're winning the game, you couldn't tell me that defense didn't walk on that field and say, all we got to do is get a stop for our offense. And that's what makes this team so deadly to me, Fernando, is because of the fact the defense knows if we can get the ball to our offense and we're down by a score, we're winning this ball game. That's how confident the team is in the signal caller. That's how confident this team is in one another. And right now, the LA Chargers, bro, they're cooking, and they're cooking with Crisco, and they're going to be a tough out for anyone because when I'm telling you, when you get rolling as a good team, and then you start to believe, and then you start to see the offense score when it has to, and the defense get takeaways when it has to. Oh boy, cut my legs off and call me shorty. We might be going where? Where's that Super Bowl this year, Fernando? Where's it at?
It's in LA.
Oh, we might have a home game, baby. Some home. I'm sorry, Fernando. I'm sorry. I just got fired up, baby. I told you I'm fired up today.
No. No, I'm sure a lot of Charger fans agree with you 100%. And honestly, I'm starting to come around. I mean, the crazy part is,
come on to my church.
I've been around Brandon Staley and I've been so impressed, but it's like, okay, how is it going to work on the field? You see the way they're doing. I mean, Joe Lombardi, offensive coordinator, there was a lot of talk about him, a lot of uncertainty. Why? Because he had failed in Detroit and now he comes here. He has all these weapons and he's really putting it together. So hats off to him. Hats off to Brandon Staley. If you can go into this bye, and we're going to get into this upcoming game pretty soon, but if you can go into this bye week 5-1, you're going to get Justin Jones back, defensive tackle, who helps against the run. He's one of their better run defensive tackles. You're going to get Kenneth Murray back from that ankle injury. You could possibly get your right tackle and Brian Bulaga back. Man, they got some reinforcements coming, but yeah, no, I've been very impressed with this team. I can't believe they're finding different. That's the thing, Lorenzo, also, is that the good teams find different ways to win. These guys are finding different ways to win these matchups. And it leaves your jaw dropping because you're like, oh my God, like on Sunday, I was like, oh, should I start writing my stuff now? And then I'm like, no, this team is going to do something. And this was at the beginning of the fourth quarter. I'm like, no, this team's going to do something and they're going to make this into a shootout. And yeah, I mean, my brother called it. My brother Daniel said this is like a Clint Eastwood old school Western shootout. And that's definitely what it was. It definitely turned into a shootout.
It did. And I'm going to tell you right now, when I say Justin, you say Herbert, Justin Herbert, Justin Herbert. I mean, when you watch this guy perform at the level that he does, it makes you say, ah. And that's why you hit the head coach is getting a lot of praise, and the offensive coordinator Lombardi's getting a lot of praise, because you have to realize some of those fourth downs, you're like, oh my God, they're going to go for it on 4th and 4. They're going to go for it on this and this. And here's the thing. They knew it was going to be a shootout, and they knew they had to convert. But here's a team, and this is a coach that believes in his offense enough to say, go for it. Let's not get the 3 points. 3's not going to be enough. Yeah. But they believe in Justin Herbert enough. And now once you have that belief system in your quarterback, and he walks out on 4th down, he said, this is my team. These coaches and these men believe that I'm going to get the ball to the right individual. And watch how many targets, and look at Mike Evans. Everyone talk about, not Mike Evans. Where's it against the Raiders? Didn't necessarily have the big game. Edwards was the receiver, 81. I'm forgetting the name.
Oh, right, Mike Williams.
Mike Williams. Yeah. Mike Williams. Look at Mike Williams, how big he was in this past game. And that's what I wanted to know. I want to know, how is he going to hold his head up in tough times, because really didn't get targeted a lot against the Raiders or didn't have that many receptions. So it'd be easy to complain. But look how the next week, how he bounced back. That's what I wanted to see. We spoke last time, and I said, how is Mike Williams going to respond? How is he going to do? Is he going to mope, mad because he didn't get the ball? But look at the next week. His number was called. He didn't hold a grudge, and he answered the bell. And that's the unique thing about this team. And I think that the coach gets a lot of credit, but you got to give credit. This quarterback, this guy is special. He understands he's special. And now he has the heartbeat of this team, and defense and everyone around. They knows as he goes, so does LA Chargers go.
It's crazy, Lorenzo, how far we've come from Justin Herbert is going to be a bust. Justin Herbert doesn't understand the game. Justin Herbert isn't a leader. Justin Herbert's an introvert. All this stuff that was said pre-draft. And you know what's funny, Lorenzo? After that Wisconsin game, after that Rose Bowl game where the Oregon Ducks beat the Wisconsin Badgers, and Justin Herbert scored 3 running touchdowns, I said, this is the next Chargers quarterback. Why? Because I knew exactly that kid could do whatever, like he would do whatever it took to win a game. That game, he took off running. He did everything he could to win that game. He did it with his legs. On Sunday, he did everything. In one of those, he takes off running, or he ran 3 times for 30 yards and a touchdown. That touchdown run, though, he was looking directly at the end zone, sidesteps, and kind of goes the other way, and is able to take the perfect angle to get into the end zone. This kid, man, he is special. He's a unique quarterback. You saw glimpses of it last year, but this is the year where you're really starting to see him cook and put it together. Everyone was talking about, oh, he's going to have a sophomore slump. No, that's not what it doesn't happen to every quarterback. It didn't happen to Lamar Jackson. It didn't happen to Patrick Mahomes. It's not happening to Justin Herbert. And the thing is, Lorenzo, is that the other two quarterbacks, Lamar Jackson and Patrick Mahomes, they're a little bit different. They rely on their games in a different way. Justin Herbert is that clean cut, like he just does everything the right way. The other guys are more like, how do I want to say this? They kind of like they're more reactive to they count on their reaction.
They can make right.
Exactly. And this kid is more about, I'm gonna stay here. I'm gonna boom, boom, boom. Let's look at all my progressions and bang. The other two guys are more of like, oh, it's all breaking down. Well, let me move around with my legs and create more, and let me do more around the pocket. Let me get guys open. And Justin's like, as soon as he sees it, he lets it rip. But man, the kid is just, he is special and he is unique. But Lorenzo, just real quick, did you make any money over the weekend?
You know, baby, I'm cooking, baby. I'm hot. I'm so hot, man. All I do is go to Bet Online. Full as that. Go to Bet Online. And I'm going to tell you right now, Fernando, yes, I'm making money. All I do right now is win, no matter what. I took the Chargers over, didn't take the game. I took the over, and it was like 50. Got that one. I took Dallas Cowboys. I said, go on Dallas. Dallas was giving 9. -9. I took the Cowboys. I went and took the Tampa Bay Buccaneers. I love Tampa. I was on that one. And let me tell you what, I was on too. I said, this team's got to show me some heart, got to come back. And I took the Tennessee Titans. Let me tell you what, I was on fire, absolutely fire this past weekend. Won a little bit of money. Why don't you tell the listeners how to go on Bet Online? Tell them where to go, how they sign up, and let them know what they're going to get, Fernando.
Hey, head to the website or use your mobile device today to sign up to receive your 50% welcome bonus on your first deposit. Don't forget to use our promo code BELIEVE, BLEAV, to receive your bonus. Football, boxing. Tyson Fury and Deontay Wilder had a great matchup on Saturday. You got baseball playoffs happening right now. There's a lot of really good stuff going on this weekend. Bet Online is the fastest and easiest way to bet on all your favorite sports. Bet Online is where the game starts. Lorenzo, this weekend, let's go back to Monday night. The Baltimore Ravens, the Indianapolis Colts are all over the Baltimore Ravens. They're winning the game. Baltimore comes storming back. Lamar Jackson ends up scoring the game-winning touchdown to win it. This weekend, Lorenzo, is another huge game. Last weekend it was a 3-1 Cleveland Browns against the 3-1 Los Angeles Chargers. This weekend it is the 4-1 Los Angeles Chargers against the 4-1 Baltimore Ravens. Lorenzo, this game, Justin Herbert, Lamar Jackson, this weekend is going to be, I think it's going to be electric.
It is. And where's this game taking place?
In Baltimore.
Where's this? How's the weather? You know what? We got to talk about this one. How's the weather? What is the weather going to be like? I want to see how this team goes and how they're going to travel on the road. Weather's getting ready to get a little chillier, a little niftier. I hope it's sunny and 70. Give me 70 degrees or 65 degrees and sunny. And my God, let the fireworks begin. This is going to be a game where the Chargers are going to have to figure out a way to get down. One if I land, two if I see.
It's supposed to be 68 degrees and partly cloudy, so it's going to be a good day. Saturday, it's going to rain. Sunday, it's supposed to be partly cloudy and the sun.
I love it. 68 degrees. Thank you, Fernando, for getting me that weather, the temperature, what it's going to be.
You.
I like it a little bit more. I like those LA Superchargers a little bit more. But I tell you, this is going to be an interesting game because if you watch Baltimore, they're built like the Chargers. Meaning their coaches, their philosophy, being physical. They're going to, they want to score. They're going to try to, want to run the ball. Both teams are going to, this is about both two teams 4-1. This is an AFC game. For who's going to be the number one team in the AFC. This is going to be a battle of attrition because you got to realize the Chargers are going to score some points. Justin Herbert is going to score some points, and this is a big game for both teams. Interesting because you know what Baltimore can do. Baltimore, Lamar Jackson, you have no answer for him. This is a guy that's that X factor that can make things happen with his leg. This is going to be a game the Chargers have to get up on them and have to stay up on them and make them one-dimensional. Make them a passing, make them Lamar have to beat you from the pocket. Don't look to get sacks. Make him, you got to cover. Your cornerbacks, the Chargers cornerbacks going to have to cover, and they're going to have to cover for a long time. They have to make Lamar Jackson beat him from the pocket, not scrambling around, not moving outside the pocket to throw the ball. Make him throw from a phone booth. Make him do that. Take it away. That's going to be a key. Got to take down the run, make this team one-dimensional.
When Lorenzo, when you guys, I mean, and obviously you were on offense, but what was it like having to play against Michael Vick? I mean, for your guys' defense, do you remember having to face Michael Vick?
Absolutely. Your defense is tired. Your defense is trying to get stops. And when you have a 3rd down and 5 or 3rd down and 8, and all of a sudden this guy, Michael Vick, get the ball and backs up, and then all of a sudden you see Houdini-esque and take off and get 15, it demoralizes your defense. Now you switch a new set of D-linemen come in. You're trying to get this guy down. When you constantly do that on 3rd and long, especially, and your quarterback, you got him dead to rights, and you let him get out of the defensive lineman claws, and he gets away and scrambles, that's the thing that you just hate because it wears you out. Also, your offense gets ready. It's 3rd down. Everyone stands up because they think you're ready to punt the ball. So your offense stands up. They're getting ready. They're changing their mindset. Okay, we're getting ready. This is a 3rd and 8, 3rd and 9. They shouldn't get this. Let's get up. Getting ready to get back on. And all of a sudden, you go back to the bench. You have to sit down. So the mental psyche of it, you got to stay engaged in the game. You can't get too high. You can't get too low, especially because when you got a quarterback as nifty and as nimble as Lamar Jackson, as an offensive-minded guy, you got to say, we have to score. We have to put our defense in a good situation because it's hard. It is very, very hard to keep Lamar Jackson cooped up, boxed in. He's going to get his. So you have to. You have to plaster him. You got to hit receivers. You got to make sure that you take away those windows. So how do you do that? By keeping him in the pocket.
Yeah, no, definitely. And I mean, the Chargers have had trouble stopping the run. They did it against the Raiders. They weren't able to do it against Kansas City. They weren't able to do it against Dallas or even against Cleveland. But that's, again, that bend, don't break. Well, Lamar Jackson will break you. So the Chargers need to be very disciplined this week, and there can't be missed tackles like there were against Cleveland because he will make you pay. And so the Chargers need to stay very disciplined when it comes to stopping Lamar Jackson with his legs. His running backs are okay. They have Latavius Murray. They have Devontae Freeman. They've had a lot of injuries at the running back position. So obviously the Lamar's kind of had to take on that load. I think he's 8th in passing yards right now, and he's 5th in rushing, Lorenzo. So he's literally been a dynamic weapon all around for these guys. And yesterday you could see the Colts in the 4th quarter, their defense was gassed and they could not make a tackle. Like Lamar was running around and they couldn't tackle him. In the first 3 quarters, they were doing so well. In the 4th, they were not. I looked for the Chargers to try and control the clock as well on Sunday. I think they need to control the clock. They were letting their defense stay on the field too long against Cleveland. And I think the Chargers this weekend kind of need to take control of the clock, make sure that their defense gets enough rest because, man, it was loud last night when Baltimore started storming back. It is going to be loud again on Sunday. But Justin Herbert versus Lamar Jackson feels like a heavyweight fight, Lorenzo. It's got a good feeling to it.
Fielder Wilder. Yes, Fielder Wilder. This is that Fielder Wilder. I think this is going to be a game where if I'm that defensive coordinator, let me tell you what I'm telling these Chargers. I'm saying, look, you got to hit Lamar Jackson. I want you to hold him up, and the cavalry's coming. You need to hold him. You got to tackle him, but you got to hold him up. You got to have guys hit this guy, but tackle him high. And now when you tackle him high, guys got to come in and clean him up. You got to hit him. Lamar Jackson's going to start feeling this end of the year. You're requiring too much from Lamar Jackson. He has to do too much with his legs. You got to keep continuing to pound him because I'm telling you, sooner or later it's going to catch up with this young man. Not saying that he can't play at a high level, but when you have to run that much, average like 100, what is he averaging? 100 yards a game rushing, and then you got to think he's got to throw the ball to it and get over 200 throwing. And when you have to do all of that all the time to keep your team in the game, I'm telling you, it starts to take a toll. So I think this Charger team needs to hold him up, and you need to hit him, and you got to hit him often, you got to hit him hard, and you got to break this guy down because he's getting tired. You watch him yesterday. It took him a while to get going. Doesn't want to take those hits, trying to get to the out of bounds, but at times he's got to step on it. And at times in the second half, he's going to give you some clean shots because he's going to have to press if he's going to win this Charger, and he knows it. At times, Lamar Jackson has to press. He's got to run. He's got to understand. He's got to take a big hit to get that first down. They got to light him up, run to the ball, hit him. So it's going to be a physical type of game, but need to hit Lamar Jackson, and they got to hit him because I'm telling you, the guy's going to sooner or later, he's going to wear down. Looking for a physical game, looking for a lot of fireworks, but I love it. I can't wait, man, to talk to you next time. But this is going to be absolutely a must-watch TV.
Yeah, no, 100%. It's gonna be a hyped game. It sucks that it's not a Sunday night game. Well, I mean, obviously, we have to work it, but like it would be. This feels like a night game worthy game. It's gonna be a 10 a.m. game, so it's gonna be it's gonna be a crazy game. A lot riding kind of on each one. The Chargers right now are 3-0 in the AFC. They are in the conference, and they are 2-0 in their division. But man, if you can go 4-0 into your bye week, 4-0 in the conference, 5-1 on your that's your record. You're sitting pretty in the AFC, especially because coming back, your schedule is not that tough. I mean, I think I saw the Chargers have, I think, the 10th easiest schedule coming back from the bye week. So you come back, you have New England on Halloween, on spooky Halloween, Lorenzo. You go to Philadelphia, and then obviously there's a little bit there because Shane Steichen is now the offensive coordinator of Philadelphia. He's the Chargers' former offensive coordinator. So it's gonna be crazy coming back. But yeah, no, Lamar Jackson against Justin Herbert is going to be electric. I mean, literally, he's already had to face Dak Prescott. He's already had to face Baker Mayfield. He's Mahomes, Lamar Jackson, Derek Carr. That if that's not an opening schedule, Lorenzo, that is like running the gauntlet. I don't know what is.
And you know what, though, Fernando, the good thing about this is why this game means so much. You've already beat the Raiders. The Raiders beat Baltimore. You're in the AFC. If you win this game, now you get head-to-head. You win your head-to-head matchup against Baltimore. So now, at the end of the season, if you have a tie, if your record is the same, you win it because the head-to-head and strength of schedule, because you would have beat a Raider team that beat them, and you would have beat them head-to-head. This game has so much riding on it, and this game has so much riding on it for Baltimore because Baltimore loses the Raiders. That means the Raiders beat and then if Baltimore can beat the Chargers, they're in good, because now that it nullifies that loss to the Raiders. So This game, man, it has so much riding on it. I know you and I were talking about that. So this is a huge game for both these teams. So I think it's going to be and you don't think both these coaches are preaching the same thing? This is going to be a hell of a game. This is going to be a big time game. And I can't wait to see how this thing shakes out.
Yeah, no, definitely. It is going to be one for the ages. 10 a.m. start, like I said, Pacific. So I'm sure all eyes will be glued on that game just because of the implications, like you said, of what this means. Like I said, if the Chargers go 5-1 into the bye week and 4-0 in the division, especially with in the conference, especially with some of the weapons that they have coming back, I mean, honestly, it's looking good for them. But for right now, I mean, Lorenzo, this has been, again, a lot of fun. It's just, when you and I get together, man, it is electric.
Oh, my God. Today was an awesome show. Fun show.
Lorenzo, real quick, fans keep on asking me. They're like, hey, we've seen Antonio Gates at the games. We've seen Chris Dielman, Darren Sproles. When are we going to get number 41? Everybody's asking, but I know you're flashy, Lorenzo. You like that flashiness. I feel like that Sunday night game against the Pittsburgh Steelers might be the day that you grace SoFi Stadium with your presence. I don't know, Lorenzo. Fans keep on asking me about you.
I know. It's time for the percolator. It's time for me to come down to SoCal. You and I and rip it up and tear it up. It's going to happen. It's going to happen sooner than later. I'm not going to let them know. But I'm telling you, we're going to creep in there, you and I, brother. It's going to be something special. It's going to be so unique. I can't wait to get down to SoCal and let the fans see me. I can't wait to get down there and buy one of these great fans a drink and just hang out, man, with the crowd, with the people. I love it. We're going to do it. We will get down there this year, and we're going to make it happen.
I need this unique picture. I need a picture of Lorenzo Neal in I formation with LT behind him and Antonio Gates at tight end. That'd be a great picture for the three of you guys. That'd be an awesome picture to get all three of you guys together like that. So that would be something awesome.
Let's do it. Hey, you know what? when I get down there, that'll be the thing we do, brother. I promise you, man. I'll get those two guys. We'll do that. That'll be one of the pitches for the ages. So, man, I love it. This is a great show. Great talking to you. We got to do it again soon.
Yep, we do. Thank you guys, everybody, and be safe out there. Keep on having fun and keep on enjoying the NFL season. And again, if you guys want to make some money, bet online.